koutou katoa. We are so lucky to have our champion for change today is Jamie Pai. Now, Jamie and I actually went to school together, so we knew each other from way back then. But now Jamie has flourished into an incredible wahine toa. She is from Ngā Puhi and Ngāti Wai, and she is the president of the South Pacific Engineering Excellence Association, I think. I hope that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, okay, all right, fair enough. Okay, so Jamie's joining us today and she's going to share a little bit about her journey as an engineer. Kia ora, Jamie.
Kia ora.
How are you today?
I'm so good. How are you? It's so good to see you, actually.
I know, so good to see you too. So I guess, you know, when I was telling people, look, I'm going to be interviewing an engineer, and whenever I've spoken at schools and things like that, I talk about careers, and engineering is an interesting career because it can mean a lot of different things, almost similar to law where there's different specialties. Now, Can you tell me, Jamie, what does your job involve?
I think engineering, like you say, there's lots of different kinds of engineers that you can be, but the most common thing is that engineering is just about solving problems, and they can be problems like something like, I want this piece of code to do something, or it can be a problem like, I need to design a bridge to get from here to here. But throughout all of the different kinds of engineers that you can be, it's all focused around solving problems, I think, is the best summary.
Right. And in terms of like solving problems, what would you say is the best part about being an engineer?
My favorite part of being an engineer is kind of getting all different people together, because none of these things that we design or that we work on, they don't come from one person. I work on kind of big public infrastructure, and it takes a whole different team of people with lots of very specific skills and very specialized skills. But I love the coming together, the working together on the problem, and then seeing that. I love to see things that we've designed come to life, like seeing them built and seeing them in use, and knowing that in general what we design is for the community, and knowing that that's something that we did together as a team is being used for good. Yeah. Awesome.
And so if I was in high school, what kind of subjects do you think I should take if I were to get into engineering?
Yeah, to get engineering is very heavy on maths and heavy on physics, but what I will say is that if you are going through high school and you're in year 13, you don't have to have those things. There are ways and means for you to still become an engineer without having done those things at high school. I just think those are the kind of two core subjects that you have to have done.
Right. And while you were in high school, did you know anything about engineering, or what did you know about it?
I didn't know anything about engineering, actually, and I actually decided to become an engineer when a young woman who was studying engineering came to our high school and said, actually, you do maths and you do physics, so you can use those kind of skills to help people. And that's what piqued my interest, the kind of thought that, I use maths and science to kind of help people in different ways. And so I knew nothing about engineering. That wasn't kind of a path that I thought I was going to take. But that kind of message really resonated with me, and after that school visit, that's what I was going to do.
Awesome. You were always a bit of a nerd in high school, I have to say. We also went to high school, by the way.
Yeah.
If there was one thing that you wish someone had told you about, you know, having a career in engineer, what is that one thing that you wish someone had warned you about?
Yeah, I think you can't calculate your way out of every problem. Like engineering, as much as it's about like science and maths, it's very much about communicating with people. And no matter how smart you are and how many times you can crunch the numbers, that isn't going to get something built, and that isn't going to help you work in a team. I think through university, we're very heavy on, do this maths and these calculus, and that's not really what being an engineer is in the real world, in reality. It's more about, talking to people, communicating your ideas, being able to kind of collaborate with people. It's not all just about calculations, I think, which is, I was surprised when I came out, because like you said, I'm a nerd, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to like run the calcs on everything.
Equations, yeah.
Yeah, I was ready.
So as the president of the South Pacific Engineering Excellence
yeah.
Association, yeah. So basically, you know, that's for Māori and Pacific engineers, right?
Yeah.
And what does that involve? Like, are there many Māori and Pacific engineers out there?
No, I think we're a rare breed, which is why the group exists.
Yeah.
The group is about having support, building a support network for the Māori and Pacific engineers that are working together. And yeah, there aren't many of us. That's why we stick together. It's a unique experience, kind of working, I'll just go back, working, a lot of engineers are white and male. That's the stereotypical engineer. And I think for Māori and Pacific engineers, and especially women engineers as well, and when they're intersex, it can be sometimes it can be an isolating environment, and the group Specs is about building that camaraderie and making sure that we support each other in whatever, wherever each of our engineering journeys takes us. So I don't work with many Māori and Pacific engineers. I know the others don't. Some people have it really lucky where they work in a team full of Māori and Pacific engineers, but unfortunately that's not our reality yet.
Right. And so on that note, if there are any Māori and Pacific young aspiring engineers, what kind of message would you have for anyone that wants to follow in your footsteps?
My message is that we need you, like we're missing you, we need you. Like I said before, the things that we're designing, public infrastructure, all of that is kind of designed and built and never thought about again. But it makes such a difference when the communities that we're building these things for are reflected in the design teams, because then we're designing for our community and our design team reflects that community that we're designing it for. At the moment, you know, if you're not represented, sometimes what your needs are can be missed. So we need you. We needed you yesterday. Don't give up and keep coming.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamie, for your time. I'm sure that a lot of young Māori and Pacific people who are interested in maths or physics and hopefully will pursue a career in engineering. So thank you for your time, and hopefully we'll join Specs as well.
Yes, come. We'll be waiting.
Awesome. Thank you. Ka kite.
Ka kite.